Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be talking about koi ponds and how to keep herons away from your koi. One of the worst things you can have happen to you is when you have beautiful koi to have a bird come down and eat them, and herons are definitely the #1 predator to koi. Now back in another life I sold koi for about 10 years. I've heard every story about how koi have gone missing. I've also heard every story about how to keep them away. Some have worked better than others. I don't have every method employed here, but I have a few of my own choice methods, and I just wanted to kind of share them with you. Off camera, what you can't see is we are quite close to my house. Herons have very large wingspans. A great blue heron has a very large wingspan. It needs a very large space to land. It prefers to land in an open field. So if you have a pond in an open field with no trees around it, there is the #1 pond for heron. So I have it quite close to the house. It's quite close to a back wall. It's quite close to the Japanese garden. Second, I have steep banks in my pond. The pond itself is about 20 feet long, 15 feet across, and 3 feet deep. And literally, especially the back edge there, it goes down 3 feet right away. There's nowhere to actually step into the water and have a heron step in and be able to fish. The heron can't touch the bottom with his first step. He's not going to just blindly go into the water. He's got to be able to feel the bottom. So if you can't feel that, you've just stopped the heron from entering your pond. Other than that, in the front we do have cast iron fencing, and that's like as much to keep my son out as it is to keep the heron out. From the cast iron fencing we actually have some green, quite heavy plastic sort of mesh as well woven in there. And again, that serves two purposes. It keeps toys out of the pond, but also keeps them from going in, if they can get to the side, going in and actually spearing a fish. Some of my fish, they do get very close to the edge. They're very friendly, and so far haven't lost any. But what I wanted to do is just take the camera down, now that we've sort of got a general idea of the pond, and just show you a few of the features that help keep heron away from your koi pond. So this is sort of just more of a panoramic view of the pond. You can see my waterfall there. There's actually a 17 or a 20-foot stream that is in there somewhere. It comes from behind the large maple tree there. Fully fenced, fully tight. There's where my house starts. Well, that's actually a shed. My house is right behind that. And let's just go in a little bit closer. So starting on this end, the #1 thing here, and I'm going to get right into it, is one of these motion activated heron scarers. So this is a sprinkler you can buy. They're about $75 on average, somewhere between 60 and 100. And what they do, they have, this one is looking out over the pond, so if there's any motion out and around the pond, it's hopefully going to see it by this and get sprayed with water, or at least the water is going to come on and scare the bird. So I'll show you how that works. We'll turn it on to sensitive. Now, as my pond has sort of overgrown a little bit, this thing isn't as efficient as it could be, as it would be in a big open space, but that's how they work there. So that literally sprayed from one end to the other and beyond. So I'm going to turn it back off so I don't get sprayed. And that is a good little watchdog. The next thing we have along here is this silhouette of a heron. It's not quite as big as a real heron, but it doesn't have to be. Herons are a territorial bird. They don't like to fish where there is other birds already fishing. So if a heron's flying overhead, it's likely going to see this silhouette and keep moving. Here's a closer look at the fence. Cast iron with this sort of plastic just weaving through it. Don't really like the plastic for the way it looks, but it is definitely practical. As I bring you in a little closer here, you can see it is very steep sides. There's a little ledge there where the orange fish are swimming, which isn't really a design flaw. We designed it that way, but it wasn't necessarily a practical thing to do. If you look at the back side of the pond, you can see how there's no way a heron can land and get back there and step in. Even if they could get back there, they can't get their feet on the ground because it goes straight down. All kinds of other clutter actually really helps as well. This table here, when the chairs are out, just provides that much more of a barrier, and that's all you're trying to do. The plants that are along the edge of the pond, they just provide that much more of a barrier as well. There is the pineapple that I just replanted in my last video. So if we look across the pond, again you can see steep banks. They go straight down in. There's nowhere for a heron to actually walk, land, and get in the pond. If we swing you this way, you'll be able to actually see the greenhouse there, as well as a messy garden hose. This spot is quite a small little area. That heron would have to be very desperate to land in an area like this. Reason being is they're very cautious birds, and if it even did get into this space and it had to leave in a quick hurry, there's no way it could make these angles. The house is right here, the greenhouse is right there, there's low-lying bushes behind it, so this area is pretty safe from herons anyways. What else do we have going on in here? Of course, cover is always good. There's a few plants. It's really hard with koi to keep plants in a koi pond. I'll spin you back over this way. You can see some silver balls hanging there in the tree. Those guys kind of act like Christmas ornaments. They are supposed to be a heron scarer. They're designed so that when the heron gets close, it sees its own reflection and flies away because it sees movement. Doesn't like to be anywhere where there's any people or any kind of movement at all. They really are cautious birds. Cautious but tenacious. They'll keep checking back. If you've ever looked into an old glass Christmas ornament and your face gets all distorted and eventually goes upside down and you can see yourself coming towards yourself, that's what those balls look like. And there should be another silver one swimming in here somewhere, or floating in here, and it just sort of bobs around. I bet you it got caught behind the plants. There's some food for them. Very, very active koi. So anyways, that is just a few tips and tricks to keep your pond looking good, keep your fish looking good. There's all kinds of other things you can do. If you have an idea for yourself, leave it in the comments below. Other people read the comments and will take your idea for sure. Other things I can think of that I haven't employed, just because I am trying to keep the level of stuff around the pond down a little bit. You could string fishing line across the pond, of course. The heron will not cross fishing line. There for a while we actually just had a fishing line fence around it, and if a heron was to walk towards the pond, hit the fishing line, it wouldn't even know what it's hitting, but it's too silly, too dumb to step over the fishing line to get through it. Some people kind of zigzag it across the pond as added deterrent. Some people hang old CDs on the fishing line as added deterrent. I think that works in the same way as the ball there does. Some people do put netting across the pond. Trouble with netting is if the heron can still get up to the pond and see the fish, it can spear them through the netting. And if it can spear them, it can't actually get them, but it will still kill them. And it will keep trying to get them and keep filling them full of holes. So netting is only good if you can really elevate it up and it's far away from the pond. But anyways, there we go. I think that is about all the tips and tricks I can give you for deterring heron from your pond. Basic ones are, remember, don't give it anywhere to land. If you have your pond in an open field, make sure you have steep edges. You do some planting around the pond to make sure it can't get to it to step in the first place, and you should have some happy fish. So far these fish have been here 7 years. I got them as babies and I have not lost one to a heron, and we have lots of herons in the area. Anyways, I hope you like this video. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. As always, thanks for watching.